dudes and dudettes, it's me, Ryan, the surfer dude, back from last week. I'm really digging your town from summer vacation, but still miss the beach. It's cool though, like we got sand with us today because we are chilling with the Discovery dudes. And here, hey, Miss Sarah, dudette, what do you think?
Yes, Ryan, dude. Well, I'm so happy to have you back with us today. Hi, boys and girls at home. Well, actually, I have some good news and I have some bad news. So which one would you like to hear first, Ryan?
What? Bad news? No way.
No way.
I totally like to hear good news.
Okay, we're just going to talk about the good news.
Miss Sarah? Yes, I want to hear it.
We are going to have Vacation Bible School back in person at Timothy, and we're going to kick off the whole week starting July 18th, and that's a Sunday. We're going to start with a super cool kickoff. We will have food trucks.
Yum.
I know.
Yummers.
Guess what else?
What else?
The fire department is going to be here, and they're going to cool us off right before we have our traditional pastor splash.
What? That sounds super cool. But what is this pastor splash?
Well, I forget you haven't been here for this before, Ryan from California. A pastor splash is where all the kids at home get to come and join us here at the church. But it's very important that they remember to bring their water squirters. And we are going to have the biggest water fight ever. After the fire department hoses us all off and fills our buckets, we're going to splash all the pastors.
Whoa, that's gnarly. We never did anything like that in California.
I know, it's going to be so much fun. And then you want to hear what comes after that?
Yeah.
Okay, starting Monday morning, the very next day at 9 a.m., you're going to come back up here to church in person. And Monday through Friday, we're going to be learning with all of our friends here and all of our friends at home about Jesus.
Wow, that sounds like a great week. It is good news. Okay, what's the bad news? You said bad news?
I did say bad news. Well, so today is actually going to be our last online FaithRoots. But there's good news that comes with that. There's good news, Ryan. Because starting in August, right after Vacation Bible School gets over, as soon as it's over, the very next week, we are going to come in person and we are going to be doing FaithRoots at church, so we won't need to be online anymore. We don't get to see all our friends.
Yeah, but that's kind of sad. But really, I get to see my friends in person on Sunday and learn about Jesus each week. That's really not that bad of news at all.
I know.
No.
So it's kind of a good news, bad news, good news thing. So we can trust God with all of our heart, and we can trust God to continue to take care of us. And actually, that's our take-home point today.
Sounds like a scoop if we need to get started. So why don't we pull something out of that gnarly stand today? That reminds us of today's lesson,
Let's look through the sands of time and see what we have here. I found our first item, and it is, look at that. It is
gross me out, dude. Like, what is that, a bone? I mean, like, did you bury someone in there?
No.
I think you did.
Not quite. This actually reminds me that the land was as dry as a bone in today's Bible event. It was as dry as this bone. So King Ahab, who was the worst king of all those bad kings we talked about last week, he was the guy that really worshipped Baal. And Baal was a pretend god who supposedly could control the weather. So the prophet Elijah warned Ahab. He said, hey, don't follow Baal. And if Ahab disobeyed, Elijah told him that the one true God who could really control the weather, who would stop the rain, not for days, not for weeks, but
when?
Several years.
Whoa, that's a lot.
Years. So the land became as dry as a bone. Right. So let's reach into the sands in time and see if we can find the key that holds the secret for the day. Ooh, let's see what we have here. And get some of that sand off of there. Okay.
You got a dog that needs a gnarly snack?
Well, let's see. Not quite, Ryan. Actually, this candy bar might remind you of today's discovery point, which there's a note attached.
Okay.
We can trust God with all of our heart, trusting God to take care of us.
That's totally cool. Like, I can trust God to, totally take care of me? Me? But is there more in that sand, Miss Sarah?
Yeah. I do have some more here. Let's see. What is this? What's inside this glass container? Oh, I know. It is some matches.
Whoa, bones and matches. Where is this taking us, man?
Okay, I thought you might be getting ready to ask that, and it's taking us into the Bible, my dear lad. God made the land dry, and then he provided fire for Elijah. Now, let's see what else is next.
Okay.
All right. Set this down here. And the next thing I have is...
What is it?
A loaf of bread. Yeah. So, I don't think we'd want to eat this. It's got some sand and seeds on it. But friends at home, here's our bread. And this is another clue to our Bible event today.
Now, you're freaking me out. Bones, matches, and bread. What does that have to do with trusting God to take care of you?
Okay, well, you're going to have to watch and see, and along with our friends at home, because we are going to watch a video based on 1 Kings chapter 16, verse 29, through chapter 17, verse 16. And it will help you to connect the clues of how God provided for Elijah. Now, remember, trust God to take care of you.
That's totally in the groove, dude. I'll be right back. I'm going to get some popcorn while we watch this video.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, bye.
God's story, Elijah. So part of God's story is about a guy named Elijah, and it goes like this. Elijah's job was to talk to God and tell God's special family, the Israelites, what God said. So he was called a prophet. Unfortunately, the rulers of Israel were King Ahab and his wife Jezebel. They were the most wicked leaders Israel had ever had, and they didn't care what God had to say. They made Elijah's job really hard, but just wait until you see what God did for him. See, Ahab and Jezebel worshipped Baal instead of God. Baal was a false god, an idol. Kids, an idol is anything that gets the attention we should be giving God. Money, stuff, or even people can be idols. And when Ahab and Jezebel worshiped Baal, they turned a lot of God's family away from God too. But here's the thing. God wants all of our worship and love, and he totally deserves it. So God sent Elijah to tell Ahab and Jezebel that it wasn't going to rain for a while. There wouldn't even be dew. That means crops wouldn't grow. So the Israelites would run out of food. Then they would think Baal was angry, and they'd blame Ahab. When the king heard Elijah's message, he was furious. He wanted to kill Elijah. So God told Elijah to go hide in the wilderness. And just like he had said, there was no rain. In fact, for 3 more years, it was dry. But Ahab and Jezebel kept right on worshiping Baal and asking him for rain. Of course, that didn't work. So they stayed mad at Elijah too. They actually killed as many of God's prophets as they could find. But all that time, God kept Elijah safe. And Elijah kept telling people to believe in the real God. A few did. Like a widow who saw God do miracles through Elijah. But most kept worshiping Baal with Ahab and Jezebel. Finally, in the 3rd year of drought, God told Elijah to go talk to Ahab again. This time, Elijah challenged the king to a contest that would show who was real, Baal or God. Ahab brought 450 prophets of Baal to meet Elijah at a place called Mount Carmel. They built an altar to worship Baal, and Elijah built an altar to worship God. They both prayed for fire and then waited to see whose God brought it first. And since Baal was a false god, you can probably guess who won. Yep, God. In fact, he sent so much fire, it burned up Elijah's altar and everything around it. After that, Elijah prayed for rain, and God sent it. It seems like maybe Ahab and Jezebel would follow God after that, right? But they only got more angry. Jezebel sent Elijah a message that she was going to kill him, so Elijah ran away again. This time because he was scared. Even though God had kept him safe for years, he wanted to quit being a prophet. He didn't think anybody listened to him anyway. He laid under a tree and said, "I've had enough, Lord." Then he went to sleep. God must have understood how Elijah felt, because guess what he did? First, he sent an angel to cook Elijah some bread. Then God let Elijah see him. Elijah had talked to God a lot, but he'd never seen him. While Elijah was waiting for God, he saw a windstorm, then an earthquake, then a fire pass him by. But God wasn't in any of those. Then he heard a gentle whisper. There was God. Elijah had spent his life obeying God, even though people wanted to kill him for it. But guess what? Ahab and Jezebel never could kill Elijah. Actually, Elijah didn't die, not even of old age. Instead, God sent a chariot of fire, and Elijah rode it right up to heaven. We don't know exactly how that happened, but it did. God didn't make Elijah's job easier, but he did take care of him. And in the end, Elijah got to be with his God, the real God, in heaven. And that's the story of Elijah. So in case you missed it, here's the quick version. Elijah was a prophet. Ahab and Jezebel worshipped idols. Elijah gave them messages from God. They got mad. God told Elijah to run away. Elijah proved God is real. Jezebel got mad. Elijah ran away. He wanted to quit. God was gentle with him. Ahab and Jezebel couldn't kill Elijah. God took Elijah to heaven in a chariot of fire. And that's part of God's story.
So, Miss Sarah, what did you notice about that story of God providing for Elijah?
Wow, that's a really good question. Yep. So the first thing that I noticed, Ryan, was that God had the power to not provide.
Whoa, you mean like when the king and his whole land that had no rain?
Yeah, that's exactly it. God was warning them to turn back to him by not providing.
Ooh, caution, caution! Don't turn away from God, King Ahab.
That's
like
right.
You are being totally doofus.
I know, he was, wasn't he? But then consider how remarkable it was when God did provide for Elijah.
Yeah, like with the fire from heaven. God, he didn't need any matches. I sure would have liked to see that in your face, King Ahab. Totally awesome, totally awesome.
Well, I don't know if God would like you to say that, but God does provide for what you need the most.
Like I'm thinking candy, candy.
No, God will provide even more than candy, even more than food, and even more than, water.
Yeah, candy?
No, as a matter of fact, more than anything to eat.
Like more than food, what else do we need?
Like a relationship with God.
What's that?
Okay. Well, when God gave you his son Jesus, he gave you the power to be his children and to talk to him and to trust him to take care of all your needs.
So even if I disobey God, he still wants to love me and take care of me?
Yep. Even when you disobey God, he wants to love you and he wants to take care of you. In fact, God forgives you and then he gives you the power to not be a total doofus, as you say.
Totally gnarly.
I know, it is totally gnarly. Would you close us in prayer today, Ryan?
Oh, well, I'll try.
Okay, all right. We will pray with you.
Dear God, thank you so much that we can trust you to take care of us for all that we need. Especially thank you for Jesus. Some of the ways you provide for Elijah was totally awesome. Help us trust you to be truly awesome when you provide for us. Wow, in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Bye, boys and girls.
Bye.
Oh, we can trust God with all of our heart. Oh, I just love that phrase, don't you?
It's awesome, Miss Miriam.
It is.
Yes,
Hi,
it is.
kids.
Hi,
That's what we
kids.
were talking about today.
Yeah.
We were talking about how we can trust God with all of our heart,
Wow.
trusting that God will take care of us all the time, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a long one, but it is our take-home
Yeah.
for today.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to say the long part about trusting God. We can trust God with all our heart.
Okay.
And you get to say, trusting God to take care of you.
I want to hear the kids say that.
Oh, you want the kids to try it?
Yes.
Hey, kids, you want to help me out there?
I know.
Here
the
we
kids.
go. I'm going to say the first part, and you say, trusting God to take care of us. Are you ready? Here I go. We can trust God with all of our heart, trusting God to take care of us. Weren't they good? I know. They really trust God. I
Uh-huh.
could hear it the way they said it.
Yes, I can too.
So let's hear if you do, okay? I'm
Okay.
going to say my part,
Okay.
okay?
Okay.
We can trust God with all of our heart.
Trusting God will send us rain.
Rain.
So
Oh.
that the flowers grow
Oh,
and the grass
yeah.
grows so you can mow it again.
And you can jump in the puddles.
And I can
There is something wonderful, jumping in muddy puddles.
Isn't fun?
It is. It reminds me how much I like rain and how much I like God. Wait, that's not what we're talking about.
Oh.
No, remember? We can trust God with all of our heart, trusting He will take care of us. Let's hear the kids do it.
Oh, yes, please.
Okay, all right, ready, kids? We can trust God with all our heart, trusting God to take care of us. Here we go.
Sure.
Ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
We can trust God with all of our heart.
Trusting God for bread and dog bones.
Bread and dog bones. Do you like dog bones?
No, I like birdseed.
Oh, yeah, that's true. You
Yeah.
do like birdseed.
I
don't you?
like birdseed
Yeah.
and chocolate.
And isn't it nice that God makes all of those things?
Yes.
And we can trust Him to give us the kind of food we need to
Yeah.
be strong and healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can trust God with all of our heart, trusting Him to take care of us.
Okay.
You think you can do it? Should I ask the kids one more time?
Yes, please.
All right, come on, kids, here we go. We can trust God with all of our heart, trusting God to take care of us.
Wow, they're really good.
They are really good at that, aren't they?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's awesome.
here we go. Are you ready? One more time.
Yeah.
We can trust God with all of our heart.
Trusting God for friends like you and Miss Sarah. I'm gonna miss you.
Albie,
It
I'm
makes
gonna
me
miss you
kinda
so
kinda-
much.
It's kind of
Oh,
sad.
I'm so sorry. Don't cry. Don't
It'll be
cry.
our
It's
last
okay.
time
It is our last time together. It has been so much fun, hasn't it? Yeah, I know. But we can trust God. Because He's got new adventures for us. You know that, don't you? Yep.
Wow.
And something exciting's
Oh, I
happening.
can't wait.
And we're going to start it up in August
Okay.
sometime.
Okay.
And we're going to let everybody know about it.
All right.
Okay?
Will do.
And you know what God provided today for you? A candy bar and a Reese's cup.
Wow. And I can give one of them to my
You
friend
can
Oreo.
give them to whoever you want to.
Okay.
Because God takes care of us,
Yes.
doesn't He?
Yes.
All right, kids, let's do it one more time and see if Albie can listen this time.
Okay. Listen.
Here we go. We can trust God with all of our heart, trusting God to take care of us.
We can trust God with all our heart, trusting God to take care of us.
Oh, and He does. Oh, boys and girls,
Guys.
thank you so much for joining
Have a
us.
great
We'll see you
summer.
later. Here you go.
Bye.
Come on now, join with me, everybody sing. I'm gonna lift my voice to glorify my King. He is a mighty God and worthy of our praise. We give Him everything, He's good in every way. Come on now, join with me, everybody sing. I'm gonna lift my voice to glorify my King. is a mighty God and worthy of our praise. We give him everything, he's good in every way.
He is always there for us.
He's good in every way.
Pouring out his awesome love.
He's good in every way.
He fills us up with peace and joy.
He's good in every way.
He gives us all we need and more.
He's good in every way.
Come on now, join,
Come on now, join with me, everybody sing. I'm gonna lift my voice to glorify my King. He is a mighty God and worthy of our praise. We give him everything, he's good in every way.
He is always there for us.
He's good in every way.
Pouring out his awesome love.
He's good in every way.
He fills us up with peace and joy.
He's good in every way.
He gives us all we need and more.
He's good in every way.
Come on now, join with
Come
me.
on now, join with me, everybody sing. I'm gonna lift my voice to glorify my King. He is a mighty God and worthy of our praise. We give him everything, he's good in every way. Come on now, join with me, everybody sing.
Everybody sing.
I'm gonna lift my voice to glorify my King. He is a mighty God and worthy of our praise. We give him everything, he's good in every way. He's good in every way. He's good in every way.